3 a.m. in the morning. I'm sitting
That's into right field. Long run for Pilar. And Pilar all out into foul territory to make the play.
Bogarts with a drive out to right field. Judge is back on it, and that one's gone.
Against all odds. Here's a high fly ball driven deep to right. Verdugo back to the pen. Leaps up. He caught it. He caught the ball. He took it back.
And I will keep on waiting for a better day.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Pesky Poll Podcast, episode 61. How you guys doing today? Today, joining me as really most of the time now, we have my friend, host of the Fumble Risky podcast, Adam Wright. Adam, how you doing today?
We're doing well. Hanging out at home, off campus, getting a break from the COVID regulations. So it's a good time.
Man, you are so lucky you get to go home. All right, because we got spring break coming up. I wish I could go back home, but just so many rules and stuff that we got to follow. And plus, I got to work that weekend. It's not even worth it. It's so annoying. But with that being said, to the fans, how you guys doing today? We appreciate you, as always, coming back and listening to me twice a week. Some of you once a week. Some of you, this is your first time. And I'm sorry your first time watching this. Adam has to be here. I apologize. But we'll make it through it together. So make sure you hit that follow, subscribe, whatever button you are on for your specific platform. Spotify and iTunes gang, I never forget about you guys. Make sure you guys hit that follow button so you can hear me twice a week. With that being said, follow the Instagram at Pesky Poll Podcast. Adam, you got anything else to say to people before we get started?
I got nothing. Let's rock and roll.
Okay. We gotta stop using. No, that worked once for an interview.
Let's get moving.
Adam, I don't know how you people put up with. I don't know how I put up with Adam, but we're here.
There's nobody who puts up with me, Robert.
No, absolutely not. So, we just had a game today where I believe the Red Sox won 7-2 against the Braves. Now, obviously, Adam is a big guy about this, so it's just spring training. These games don't count. Well, you're right, and while we're facing against minor league players, it's nice to see some of our guys actually doing something decent. Because we kind of need them to consistently do that throughout the season. You know? So, the guy we had on the bump today was Martin Perez. And Martin Perez had a great stat line for today. 4 innings, 5 strikeouts, I believe. Yep, 5 strikeouts, 1 walk, and how many hits? 2 hits. So not a bad day from him at all. Very, very good. Very good outing. Now, Adam, the question I want to ask you is, where do you see Martin Perez fitting within our rotation?
In the rotation? Well, in an ideal situation, in a perfect world, I see him towards the back and putting up decent numbers. I mean, he's Martin Perez. He's not some crazy number one starter. He's not even a middle of the rotation starter. He's more of like towards the back. So, I mean, that's where he'll fit in. But on the 2021 Red Sox, you can make a case he's the ace. So that's where we're.
Hey, that's the 2020 Red Sox, all right? We had a stretch of time where he was basically the ace.
Exactly my point. With
Erod, Sale, Andy Eovaldi being out, we were running Martin Perez out there versus guys like Tyler Glasnow. Let me tell you, you can assume how those games ended. Wasn't pretty.
I basically already know at this point.
Yeah. The majority of them, we got bent over. Exactly. But right now, realistically, with us having, and I'm talking completely healthy, we have Sale, Erod, Eovaldi, Whitlock, Perez, Richards, Houck, Pavetta. That's 8 starters right there. Yeah. Realistically, I would love it if Martin Perez became a rotational guy in the bullpen. somebody gets hurt, you bring him in, or you just have him be a long reliever. Someone on let's say Garrett Whitlock comes in, he starts a game, and he's given up 4 runs by the second inning. Martin Perez comes in for 4 innings, does damage control. If that can be Martin Perez's role, I'm more than happy with it.
I agree.
And for the YouTube people, Adam has a visitor behind him. That's going to be distracting throughout the entirety of this episode.
I'm dog sitting today. My family's out of the house, so I'm trying to keep him out of trouble, and that's not going so well. He chewed up one of our favorite foam balls, and he's eating it as we speak. He loves eating anything that he's not allowed to get a hold of. So, yeah, great. He loves to eat. If only we could find a pitcher who could eat up some innings. Isn't that right, Robert?
No, just don't even try and segue like that. Don't even try, okay? If I'm sitting here watching the YouTube premiere tomorrow night, right? I just watched that number go from about 6 people watching to about 2, just because of what you just said.
2. I mean,
okay.
6 ain't so good either. So we got.
Hey.
We just got to get out there, get
I
big.
I got 6 people watching right when I dropped the episodes. You have 6 people watching in total. All right, we ain't the same.
I got 6 views last week.
Are you sure about that?
I believe so.
All right, I can look it up right now. I have the tab open.
Well, you know what? We have to all get like a lot bigger. People will be like, who are the Section 10 podcast? Section 10? I don't know who the hell they are.
Wow.
Like, it's got to be all Pesky Pole podcast, right?
Hey, I even
Pole podcast, Fumble Rooski podcast, Two Compass podcast.
Hey,
we have a whole network. They're just actually they're Barstool Sports.
They're Barstool Sports. Yeah, they're
don't
even try and compare it.
We're gonna be them. We're gonna be them. We're just a bunch of amateurs. We're amateurs doing our amateur things. We're Amateur Hour Sports Network.
Hey, you got 10 views, by the way, and 1 comment.
See, I got a comment. Did you get a comment?
This person says, in Dak we trust he's worth any. No, we don't trust Dak.
Every penny? Yeah.
No.
That's actually Justin's mom, by the way. So, yeah, we're thriving.
That couldn't have been more perfect. But no, I got plenty of comments.
Does your mom comment on your stuff?
My mother doesn't know a damn thing about baseball.
Does your sister do it?
Whenever I tell her, hey, we're talking about Benintendi, she will. But that's about it. She's more active on the Instagram side for us than anything.
How did she react when Jacoby Ellsbury left the team?
She wasn't a fan in the slightest. She became a fan at about 2017 when she said, ooh, he's pretty.
Ellsbury's hotter than Benintendi, though. He's prettier.
Why are we discussing this?
Why not?
Because it makes no sense. All right.
Sense.
All right, viewers who are listening right now on YouTube, comment Jacoby or Benintendi. Not based on stats, based on looks.
All the females, of course. And the men.
And the men. We won't judge you.
We don't discriminate, of course.
Adam's wants to talk about here about his personal preferences on Jacoby or Benintendi, so.
Jacoby's not only the better player, he's the better looking guy. You already know he's clapping cheeks out there.
Okay, I think I just got demonetized if I was making money. You can't say stuff like that, Adam.
Sorry.
You see what I have to deal with, people. We go through this like once or twice every 2 weeks. We have to deal with this. Please help me. Send help. And memes. Send memes to the Pesky Pole Instagram. Make my life.
Pretty fun. I send pretty good memes.
You got like a 30% success rate.
On memes?
Yes.
I send good. I send good memes.
Nah, he really doesn't.
I follow all the best meme pages.
Like I said, he's got about a 30% success rate when it comes to memes.
That's 300%. That's a 300 batting average.
Yeah, so that means you can barely make it in the MLB. All right.
MLB, that's like an all-star game. and possibly the Hall of Fame.
For a career. You've been doing it consistently for like 3 months. You're the Jackie Riley Jr. of meme sending right now, okay? Don't even start. Adam is not happy. Oh, you're still dealing with the dog. Of course you are. Garrett Richards. All right. Garrett Richards, we'll be honest, has sucked this far throughout spring training. All right, had a 13.5 ERA throughout the first couple weeks of spring training.
Yeah, he blows.
Adam. There is no PG Adam. I apologize to the fans.
I said he blows.
Stop.
What's wrong with that?
You annoy me to no end.
He
But
sucks.
well, he just had a good game. All right, we're gonna recognize a good game when we see a good game. We paying this man $10 million. God damn it, we're gonna cherish every little moment we can.
I recognize Josh Osich when he had good games.
No, you don't
Didn't
even
mean anything.
If I asked you what number Josh Osich wore in his time in Boston,
I couldn't tell you.
exactly.
But
Thank
I
you.
would have if I was following the team, which I really
Last year wasn't
COVID
the year.
COVID year.
Blame it on the COVID year. But Garrett Richards, right, came out yesterday. 4 scoreless innings, 7 strikeouts, 3 walks. Now, I know you were saying before we started you would like the walks to be a little bit down, but that's still over a 2.0 strikeout to walk ratio, which I'm not mad about. I mean, the best pitchers in the league are having about a 6 strikeout to walk ratio, and he's at about a 2 right now. But once again, I ask the question, where do you think he fits? Because we have a lot of good pieces in this pitching rotation. It's just none of them really fit together.
I think the better way to word that would be we have a lot of question marks, and it's just a matter of whether or not these question marks will wind up. I mean, we've all seen Garrett Richards over his career. He's been a very solid pitcher at times. In fact, very good pitcher at every once in a while. The issue is, can he regain that form, which he hasn't had in a little bit. So, I mean, not a good start this spring training. They had to call a mercy rule. It was so bad one game. They literally said, throw the damn towel at one point. They said, you know that Simpsons meme where it's like the children are like watching there and discussing. Stop! He's already dead. That was Garrett Richards. No, that was Alex Cora from the sidelines. They're like, stop! He's out. He's done. He's
already dead.
Done. I gotta think of another, or like you know that tweet from an orange Cheeto who we shall not name. Stop the count. At some point.
So far throughout spring training, he's, I think, pitched the most innings out of everyone. He's pitched 8 innings, 6 earned runs with a 6.75 ERA.
Yeah.
10 strikeouts, 5 walks. It's not been great so far, but fortunately, these stats all wipe away in about 19 days. Mm-hmm. Oh, completely off topic. When we go into a game?
When are we going to a game?
Prices shot up.
They went up?
Yes.
Well, I told you, my dad gets veteran discount. Remember?
Yo, we need to get these ASAP.
This is disgusting.
Are you talking about the ball?
He chewed out this. There used to be a core in here.
All right. Yeah.
We need to get
game right now. Cheapest games are April 6th and 7th, which are a Tuesday night game, which I work on Tuesdays, but I get around that. So we could either go to like a Tuesday night game, Wednesday afternoon game I can do.
What about over weekends?
Weekends are hella expensive.
See if we could get tickets at somewhere in the somewhere like in the outfield. My dad has a military discount.
You mean on the
Gets
Green
it for
Monster?
our family.
You mean on the Green Monster?
If we were gonna get Green Monster, if we could get Green Monster tickets for cheap, then I'd be 100% in. I'll quit my job. I'll drop out of drop out of college, and we're in. We're in just for one night to see them actually win it for once in the Green Monster.
Hey, you remember how much I got those tickets for that night?
It was like $80. That's like really good.
That was really good. Actually, let me go on StubHub because that's where I actually got the tickets that we got last time. For the fans out there, either try SeatGeek or StubHub. It just depends. Sometimes one will have cheaper and sometimes the other will. You know what I mean. Try both. Look at home.
By the way, you and I, this is more football related, but you and I are going to that Patriots-Bucks game.
I don't want to spend an arm and a leg.
I will.
I mean, if you want, we can go to the game tomorrow for $29.
You mean the spring training game? Take a flight down to Fort Myers.
Yeah, we can go down there.
They don't have any restrictions, you know.
Yeah. Oh my God. StubHub is not the move. There are no tickets under $196. Goddamn. We can go to New York on the 27th to watch them play the Mets. Those tickets are only $34. God damn. Why are ours so expensive?
Or we could just wait till COVID's over and then
No, because I'm going back to Tennessee.
When we mark our independence from the virus, we're going to I'm sure the ticket prices will go down, and it might be a lot more enjoyable to go see the game.
It will be, but at the same time, you got to remember after I graduate, I'm gone, and I ain't coming back to Massachusetts.
You don't want to come back?
As much as I'd love to, I can't get a job up here.
You should.
I should, but I can't.
Move up here.
But I can't. There's no jobs for me up here.
We could get a job being like radio show hosts.
No, or more people can watch these episodes, so I can actually get monetized by YouTube and get some sponsorships and all that fun stuff. For the fans out there, tell your friend, tell your friends for me, please. I'm in desperate need of help.
And their significant others, and their children, and their cousins, their grandparents, parents,
anybody,
step parents, step brothers, step sisters,
anybody that you know that the Red Sox are from Boston, if they can name you that, recommend this podcast.
If they know what a baseball is, do it.
Recommend this podcast. Yeah, and plus we've been down on. We've been down from last month on views on Spotify and iTunes. Y'all let me down.
They can point out Boston on a map, then follow this podcast.
Yeah, if you can point out Boston on a map.
If you know what a pigskin is, check out Fumble Rooski podcast.
Adam never takes a moment that he can't self-promote.
I can't what?
Adam, you always take the moments where you can self-promote.
So, at least I'm not doing it in those comment sections, you know? Comment sections are annoying where they do that.
Mm-hmm. No, so this kind of stinks around this time of year because we have no news coming out, no one signing, no one's getting traded. We just play in spring training games at this point. You know, we barely got anything with golf. That's why I wanted to try and get some people in here. I'm still trying. Right, I'm gonna see if I can get somebody on for Tuesday, and then I don't know. We'll figure it out. Hopefully. But once again, like I said, send memes. Those will get us through everything, right, Adam?
Oh, 100%.
Memes
you had a bad day, and you're scrolling through Instagram, and you see that one meme that just makes you laugh, and it it just makes your day a little better. Like maybe it doesn't make your day better, but it just makes things tolerable. Like you're in good spirits for like a few seconds. It's just that one thing that keeps you going in life, right, Doug? His name's Doug.
Yeah, that's the person that will know about getting their spirits lifted is the dog who has a 7-second memory attention and has done some unspeakable things to some of your friends.
He is. Cover your ears, Dougie.
Okay. So we got 7. So we only have like 2 more bits of news before we gotta call it. Well, we've only been going for like 20 minutes now. Like I said, these podcasts until we get to the actual meat of the season are going to be so much shorter, and I hate it. But what are you going to do? Yeah. So we got 7 guys that we got to talk about, and I kind of want to get your opinions on them, Adam. All right?
Yes.
Just what you think of them, where you think their place is in the either rotation or hitting core, and how well you think they're going to do this season. Because according to Chris Cotillo, these 7 guys have got to be on the top of their game for us to do anything this year. All right.
Yes.
First, Eduardo Rodriguez.
Eduardo Rodriguez has the potential to be a number 2 in any lineup, but during this season, especially in the early going, he'll probably be the ace. He'll probably be the top guy.
We need him to pitch like he's the Clay Buchholz to Chris Sale's Trevor Bauer.
Buchholz.
Not Clay Buchholz, Clayton Kershaw. I apologize.
Clayton Kershaw. I was gonna say.
I just saw the name Clay Buchholz a couple hours ago. No, we don't want Clay Buchholz.
I don't even want to take the good with the bad with that guy. He was so frustratingly inconsistent. He was either actually Clayton Kershaw, or he would be Josh Osich. He was just that bad, and it was so inconsistent. It was so night and day. It's like he had 2 personalities. It's like, have you ever seen that movie? What was it? Split, where
that was such a good movie.
It's a good movie, but it's freaky. It's like, well, he's like he'll have what's his name? John Farrell coming up to him at the mound. It's like, what the hell is wrong with you? And he'll be like, sorry, that was Patricia who threw that pitch. And it was like, it was so bad. It was so bad. Like, I won't even take the good with the bad. Like, if anything, the good made it more frustrating because it's like, we know his potential. We know what he can do. I'm getting too carried away. This has nothing to do. You get the point. Chris said, Clay Buchholz. Very, very bad.
You gotta love freshmen. They always have to be yelling through the halls.
Especially that one in particular who loves to stare through people's windows.
No, we can't. Well, actually, we can, as long as we don't say names.
Yes, that's why I said in particular.
Yeah, let me tell you guys, if y'all, most of my fans are about high school, college age. For the college kids, y'all know the struggle of having some weird people in your dorms, and in your classes. You always get paired up with that one weird kid in class. Yeah, right? That's happened to you, right?
100%.
We had. Do you remember last semester we were in the same media writing class?
Yep.
Right, John Ruck, great guy. All right, that was a great teacher. But we had that one kid who I'm not going to name names. I'll tell you after if you can't remember him. But he would always just ask the weirdest questions. Do you remember who I'm talking about?
Is this that Mike kid?
I said we shouldn't say names,
Sorry.
But yes.
Yeah, he's a nice kid though.
Mm-hmm.
I like him.
Of course, the dog's being a problem again.
He's crying. I put the ball away. It's not even a ball anymore. It's like a chewed up thing of slobber.
You just need to get a can of tennis balls and call it good.
I have a racquetball that he loves, but he went for the foam Nerf ball that we all used to love when we were kids. Now it's not a Nerf ball. Now it's a ball of foam. Ugh.
But yeah, we got. I don't know where we're going with that.
Where were we going with that?
College kids are weird.
We started out with. Oh yeah. It went from when all the kids outside your dorm were making.
Yeah,
noise.
we went to Erod to Clay Buchholz to college kids.
College kids.
Because that makes sense.
Erod, solid pitcher. I feel like if it gets to a point where we're talking about Eduardo Rodriguez like this for the next few years, then he's the second coming of Clay Buchholz. Like, that's official.
But he hasn't been that inconsistent.
He's been a little inconsistent.
No, he is not. Nowhere near what Buchholz has.
He's been inconsistent.
No.
You don't see it in the stats, but you look at it, you see it throughout the seasons. He'll either be electric, like on fire. Do you remember when he first came up in 2015 and he was just electric and we thought he was going to be an ace? Mm-hmm. Then Dave Dombrowski came in. He's like, yeah, no, we're just going to – first year, signs David Price. Second year, trades for Chris Sale. So this guy was definitely like and that in one of those years in between in that same stretch of time, Rick Porcello won Cy Young. So I mean, say what you want about Dave Dombrowski, he did a great job with that starting pitching staff. Yeah. We're talking about Eduardo Rodriguez being their worst guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, here's the thing with Erod. Throughout his 5 years pitching in the MLB, his ERA 3.85, 4.7, 4.19, 3.82, 3.81. Besides a sophomore year slump, no inconsistencies here. And even his last year in 2019, he had 19 wins.
But he wasn't what he hasn't. Number one, yes, it says that in the statistics, but if you look at him throughout each of those years, he's not on what the stats say. Like the final stats say like, oh, he was just okay. But there were also like, he was like Clay Buchholz except on Adderall. Like it was just going fast. Like it wasn't like these like half year stretches of time where he would be horrible and then be good for like 2 months, or like half year stretch of time he was like 3 games terrible, 3 games good, 3 game like. And another part to that would be his expectations are to be a lot better than what he is. You know, he was supposed to be a number 1, at the very least a number 2. Mm-hmm. He's probably only been a number 3 at best, and probably probably a 4.
You're telling me a guy in his last year he pitched with a 19-6 record with a 3.81 ERA is not a number 2 guy who gave us 203 innings throughout the year?
Look at his career.
Who finished 6th in Cy Young?
That was a 3.81 is not anywhere close to Cy Young.
3.81 is nothing.
If he finished 6th,
insane, but it's nothing to scoff at. 3.1
never
still
said
awesome.
It's anything to scoff at, but if those are his career numbers,
we can look
at Garrett Richards. Garrett Richards has had a season like that. How's he looking now?
Garrett Richards has never won 19 games. First of all,
stop the count.
Richards
Stop! It's already dead.
Has never won 19 games. First of all, I don't even think he's played 19 games in a season.
Pretty sure he has, but
plus he's 33, right? Erod's what, 27, 26 ish, somewhere around that, right?
He's around
28.
Yeah,
my bad. So he's 5 years younger. And the most that, I apologize, he had 1 year where he had 15 wins. He went 15-12. Oh, God, 2016 and 2017. Garrett Richards hit different. Wow.
Robert, his last just because his career year, that 1 year, was a number 2 caliber doesn't mean over his career he has.
Every other year has been a number 2 caliber also. Besides, you could say his sophomore year. Even his rookie year, 10-6 with a 3.85 ERA.
But he also didn't play a lot in those games.
21 starts, 121 innings.
And how much ERA?
3.85.
3.85 in 21 starts.
And 21 starts as a rookie. We're talking about
a rookie, right? That was his rookie year. He had high expectations that year,
and he fulfilled them. His third year, you could also say
3.85 is not fulfilling your.
Mm-hmm.
That's
his.
I'm not scoffing at 3.85. I'm just saying that's not the expectations he had. His first 5, how many starts he had? He was on a roll when he first got in the league. If you remember, It was meteoric. He looked awesome. Then he fell off a cliff a little bit, and then he got hurt.
Yeah, no, his sophomore and you could say his junior year, he had a 6-7 with a 4.19. Wasn't great. Then 2018, the World Series year, 13-5 with a 3.82, while pitching 129 innings. And then 2019, a 19-6 with a 3.81, 34 starts with 203 innings under his belt.
See, like I said, I like him as a number 2, but I just don't think he's been quite that over his career. I think he's been a number 3 at best.
People, if you've listened this far, either comment or DM me on that Instagram, slide into those DMs, and tell me why Adam's wrong, please. Appreciate it. Next guy, we already talked about Garrett Richards. Third guy is Adam Ottavino. Obviously just got him in a trade this offseason. Rare trade with the Yankees. Never do that. What's his ceiling looking like?
To me, he could be a good setup man. I like him as a setup man.
You don't see him as a closer?
On this team, he might end up being a closer, but for the production I could see him doing, I could see him as a setup man, as like on an ideal team, which is not the 2021 Red Sox.
Let me ask you this, though. If you don't see him as the closer, who is?
Who is? I think you could easily I'm saying on the ideal roster, he would be that. Like on the 2021 Red Sox, he would be a closer.
What's the dog whining about now?
He wants to get in the basement and get into all the workout gear and the snow gear. He wants to chew it all up. Look at him. Look at that little dumb face. Look at that dumb face. Acting all innocent. Like, I only want to tear apart all your stuff. I just want to be a bad dog. Behind your back and put up a front like a little.
So
and he walked away. He's all happy. He's like, oh, he heard me.
The one thing about Ottavino that I really don't like is the dude is 35. All right. He's 30, going to be 36. So this article says, at its best, Ottavino is one of the game's top relief options who could be a major part of the bullpen that appears a little underrated headed into this year. If Ottavino and Hirokazu Sawamura perform, Boston could have a dynamic group that includes Matt Barnes, Darwinson Hernandez, and Josh Taylor. Now, I don't know about you, but it don't seem like that writer has been watching a lot of those pitchers that he's stated.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not too high on Ottavino. I think he could be a solid starter, or not. Sorry, solid relief pitcher. At his ceiling, he's a setup man on a good team.
Mm-hmm.
I think on this team he'll probably end up being a starter, but I mean, this is the 2021 Red Sox. These are like the dark days of the Red Sox. Like this will be the lowest the Red Sox will ever get, lowest that they ever have gotten. I mean, if you look at other seasons, this is around that level. So
this year or last year?
This year and last year.
I don't know. This year we are leaps and bounds better than we were last year pitching wise. Leaps and bounds better.
I think they'll be better. I don't think they'll be good or okay.
But getting back to Ottavino, I think we're paying him, I believe, about $12 million for this year.
Yes. If
he could come in and be anything better than Matt Barnes, that $12 million is worth it. You put him as closer, Matt Barnes and Hirokazu as the setup men. Darwinson is somebody who could come in maybe a 7th, 8th inning guy. And I think you got a good, at least a somewhat reasonable back of the bullpen there. It's nothing great. It's probably just below average. But
well, if your standards are just be better than Matt Barnes, then that doesn't say much.
Hey, my standards are be better than Robert Stock.
That's like saying be better than Adam Wright at the big league level. That's not hard.
Adam, you can't throw a ball over 84. Don't even start.
You can't either.
I know I can't. I'm not the one saying that
I'm not saying I can. I'm saying that's like saying be better than some average civilian who's giving dumb takes on some low level podcast.
I'm saying I can easily take you for a double down the left field line.
That's all I'm saying. I can take you for a triple down the right field line. I'll hit it. We'll hit it to Pesky pole pod. We'll hit it off the Pesky pole. I'll wrap it right around there. It'll be a home run.
Yeah. Okay.
Actually, no. It'll bounce around. It'll be like a triple, and I'll stretch it into inside the park.
How can you do that?
I'll laugh in your face.
When you
flip the bat too.
When you hit the Pesky pole, it's an automatic home run. We've seen it in person.
Let me ask you this.
We saw Mookie do it.
How many home runs did you hit when you played in high school?
I was very close to one.
I hit
two. I was very close to two.
I hit two in one game.
Bro.
In high school. It was the greatest thing ever. But yeah.
So, literally, first at bat of my senior season, right? We're playing against this team that's projected to go, we had a 20-game regular season. They were projected to go 1-19. They sucked, right? They're bad. We beat them 16-0 that day. But I come up first play, and boom, just slice it down the left field line. The fence, I think, is 340. Slice it down 10 feet foul. It easily had enough distance to be a homer. I cracked that, but it was foul. And I ended up with a single that ended up going about 9 feet. I'm not trying. It was funny. And then the second time, I was facing against this pitcher that was throwing 86, right? Team was down, and I get a pitch. He throws me a high heater, probably about up at my chin. 2 strikes. I don't know why I swung at it, but boom, take it right dead center field. Because I'm a lefty, the ball was trailing. Yeah. Boom, one hop the fence, ground rule double. Here's the problem. I hit that to the other side of center field. That ball's rolling because the fence is so much farther that way. That's a triple or an inside the park home run. I hit it more to left field where it's shorter. It would have been a homer. I hit it in the perfect spot where I wouldn't get a homer either way. Man. And plus, in high school, I didn't know what a weight room was. I graduated high school at 137 pounds.
You don't know what a weight room is now.
Hey. Okay? All right.
Do I need to take my shirt off on this podcast?
Adam, so help me God, all right?
Would that be shocking content,
We will get.
Or would that be...
It'll be shocking content.
If this was a movie, it would be rated X. If that happened.
Yes.
It would be rated straight X.
All right, and let's just say if you cut your head off, if you only showed from your belly button to your neck, people are going to think it's a chick. All right.
Think it's me?
Yeah. If you just showed stomach from here to belly button, People gonna think it's
for
Chick.
you.
No, what, Adam? We have to take
me.
this outside. It's you.
I do not have boobies.
Hey, I've seen chicks with smaller. Okay.
Bro, this thing's coming
Let's
off.
stop before YouTube cancels me, okay? YouTube will cancel me like that. All right. Speaking about homers, Bobby Dahlbeck.
That's a tough one. I don't know where he's going to go. I never thought he was going to add up to much, but he's starting to make a case to be to have a future with this team as a first baseman, and then we have Devers at third.
Yes.
Right now, it's looking. I never saw him as much as a prospect, but he's starting to make a case. So I mean, it's early. We'll see what happens. He could be the next just Will Middlebrooks, where he shows promise and then he just tanks.
We will not talk about Will Middlebrooks on this podcast. All right.
Why? He was a Red Sox.
I know, but
that's exactly my point.
Yeah, that's the thing. We won't. No, we're not comparing. I would rather compare him to a Mike Lowell. All right. Don't ask why. I just like Mike Lowell.
Okay. So.
Hey,
he's a prospect.
You can't say anything bad about Mike Lowell. All right. He's an all-star third baseman that we got from Florida.
I'm saying something. No, I'm saying something bad about you. Saying that you're comparing a middle-level prospect to Mike Lowell. 2007 postseason.
There's no comparison between. I just like Mike Lowell. All right, don't hate me.
Why are you?
Don't hate me. That's a world. You're talking bad about a World Series MVP. All right.
I'm talking bad about you.
You're talking bad about a World Series 2007 World Series MVP.
I'm talking about. I'm complimenting 2007 World Series MVP. God walking amongst mere mortals and saying, Robert, you are a mere mortal. You have never seen a weight room before. And
hey, I started seeing a weight room.
Cut off the head and look from here down. It's a little girl. That's what I'm trying to say. And I think your take is putrid. And
there was
everybody
no
in this room, everyone in this room is now dumber because of what you just said. At no point did you come
the only
up.
one in your room.
Doug.
I was just saying Doug got dumber. It's not possible.
Doug got stupid.
It's not possible for Doug to get dumber.
Doug's a smart guy.
Yeah, okay. All right.
Nothing you said came close to a rational concept.
It wasn't supposed to be a comparison.
Thought.
It wasn't supposed to be a comparison. I just said Mike Lowell because I like Mike Lowell more than Will Middlebrooks. All right. We don't talk about Will Middlebrooks.
You were comparing Bobby Dahlbeck to Mike Lowell. And Mike Lowell, sorry, he's Bobby Dahlbeck is not Mike Lowell. He won't be. Spoiler alert.
No, the problem with Bobby Dahlbeck, right, is the strikeouts. This dude strikes out like it's a good thing. All right, he'll just come in here. He'll get a home run in a game. And obviously we're basing this off a small sample size from last year. He only played from September on, something like that. He only played 20-some-odd games. Right? He'd get his home run, and then he'd strike out twice.
Yep.
And that's about how it worked for Bobby Dahlbeck. Like, let me just pull up his stats, see how much he struck out last year. Because let me tell you, it was early, and it was often.
He had a good time. He was good in his time there. I just think he's not going to add up to much.
Mm-hmm.
I never had high expectations when he was coming up. I don't have high expectations now. I think he's been better than I expected he would be. So far,
my God. So within 80 at-bats, he had 39 strikeouts.
Yeah, so that's almost
Yikes.
half.
He had 8.
Cut those. What was his batting average though? How many hits did he get?
21 hits, 263 batting average.
So if you cut those strikeouts in half, then he could be like a 280 hitter.
Yes. Which I'm fine with him being a 280 hitter.
That's easier said than done. Strikeouts are hard to take away. Even some of the great players who struggle with strikeouts, they never really go away. Aaron Judge, strikeout king. He's a walking strikeout or a walking home run.
Yeah, no in between. I do not want him to become the next Giancarlo Stanton, Aaron Judge.
I wouldn't mind that.
Like I said, I completely value somebody on their defense.
So,
and this dude, within the 20 games he played, he ended up getting 3 errors with a 981 fielding percentage, which is still very good.
Who was a better player, Aaron Judge or Mike Lowell? Give me an honest answer.
I got to look up some stats on that one, but I mean, Aaron Judge don't have a World Series, and he's never played in a World Series. He's not a World Series MVP.
That's right, because when you play for the Red Sox, you win world championships. When you play for the Yankees in the 21st century, it's game over for you guys.
It's game over after 2009, basically.
Besides that one, well, that's an outlier. That's what we're going to call it.
Was it 2010? I'm sorry, 2010.
2009.
Was it?
They won the World Series in 2009, yes.
I don't know. 2009, 2010 were just a bad year for Boston fans.
2009, they made the playoffs. 2010,
no,
they just
2009, 2009, the Yankees won the World Series. 2010, the Lakers won the NBA championship. That's what I'm saying. It's bad.
Yeah, that's
Took
bad.
our 2 rivals, and both of them ended up winning it.
And the Patriots sucked, too.
Patriots
2010, they went 14-2, but who'd they lose to in the wild card?
Was it? Oh, well,
Yes.
that was the year they lost to the Jets.
Jets,
Oh.
Jets.
God, Adam does something that I cannot say on this podcast every time he thinks about the 2010 Jets. Not Adam, but Brian.
Brian? He doesn't.
He does something unmentionable every time we talk about the 2010 Jets.
He doesn't. Does he do something?
Probably. Knowing him.
There's not much going on up there.
No. All right. We'll go through these last 3 quick. Hunter Renfroe, Rafael Devers, Kike Hernandez.
Hunter Renfroe. Not to be.
I expect him
confused
to
with
be
the-
this man.
Not to be confused with the Hunter Renfroe in the NFL, as he is maybe a utility player, I would say.
I expect him to be like a Walmart version Kevin Pillar for this team. Someone who's still going to be out there
Walmart version Kevin Pillar.
who's still going to be out there making some good defensive plays, come to the bat, and get at least a 255 batting average. He can do that. I'm
Sounds
happy.
like Daniel Nava. That sounds like Daniel Nava or Chris Young.
Daniel Nava. Bro, I love Daniel Nava. Dude was nice with it.
I loved his swing. There was something about his swing. And I'll never forget 2013. I have a lot of 2013 references. But Daniel Nava, Boston, This Is For You, by Don Orsillo. He hits that 3-run homer. They take a 4-2 lead over the Kansas City Royals. And, oh, man, I'll miss that team. That team has a special place in my heart. But maybe he'll be Daniel Nava.
Maybe.
On a championship 2013 Red Sox team, maybe that's coming. Next thing you know. Well, we have to believe.
Best case scenario, we lose in the wild card round.
Keep the faith, Robert.
Last season taught me to not have any faith. You don't have faith, you have low expectations. You have low expectations, you don't get upset when your team fails.
That's 2020 talking.
I'm
2020,
traumatized.
we can just erase that year. We
I'm
can just
traumatized.
erase that year. Like anything, think about anything bad that happened and compare it to 2020. Like the year 2020. You can't compare it because
Yes.
that year was that bad. If you think of something bad that happened, something worse happened in 2020. Except like war. No, there was no wars that happened, so that was good.
Yeah.
And no like terrorist attacks. That would be
slight positivities.
Yeah. So there's I guess we can find a silver lining there, but overall, 2020 will go down as one of the worst years in the past couple decades.
Yes. Kike Hernandez, right? He's been doing amazing in spring training. If he can bat 300 throughout the year and play solid defense, that's a great signing for 2 years, $14 million.
He won't though.
You don't have faith?
No.
What happened to all this talk about have some faith?
Unless it's Kike Hernandez.
I mean, this is postseason hero for the Dodgers.
He wasn't a postseason hero in 2018, was he?
Was he on the Dodgers in 2018?
Yeah.
Then no, he
couldn't
wasn't.
save him then, could he?
I mean, no way could save them then.
Live with his own failure.
No, because playoff Kershaw was a thing.
Where did that bring him?
Back to me. No, we're not talking. And then Rafael Devers needs to be an MVP candidate, at least top 5.
Rafael Devers?
Yeah.
Yeah, he had an MVP-like campaign back in 2019. Him and Bogarts had career years.
Both of them were like top 5 in AL MVP.
They should have been higher, honestly. They had better stats than – they put up better stats than Mike Trout, who won it, both of them. I think Mike Trout is just such a name. Like, I know he puts up great statistics, but just screw that guy. Just screw him. Like, he puts up very good statistics, but he's more of just like, hey, he's a name at this point. Like, anybody puts up better statistics, it won't matter because his name's Mike Trout.
Yeah. Here's the thing.
He plays for the Angels. The Anaheim Angels.
You mean the Los Angeles
Angels. Stupid name. They're the Walmart Dodgers. The team that just doesn't matter. Like, play for the Cubs. Play for the Yankees, for all I care. Play for the Red Sox. If you're going to be the greatest player, the best player in the game for all these years, play somewhere where you actually matter, where people actually give a damn about you. I don't know. That's my Mike Trout.
Imagine putting Mike Trout on the Dodgers, like trading Bellinger for Trout.
I wouldn't mind.
I would 100% mind.
Actually, no. That team would be too good.
That team's winning 4 straight.
With Mookie Betts, too. Imagine just 2 generational stars.
On the corner of the outfields, yeah. 2 out of the top 3 outfielders in the game.
That team's already stacked. The Dodgers are.
They already have 2 out of the top 5 outfielders. I would put Bellinger a top 5 outfielder.
But
Bellinger play more first base now. He switches.
But they would end up in this hypothetical. They would end up trading Bellinger, so he wouldn't be on that team.
No, that's what I mean.
I do have to show some respect for the Dodgers. They're always in it for the past almost 10 years. But go on.
They've had, 1 World Series victory?
Yes.
That's what I'm trying to tell my Yankees friends here is, sure, your team's good, right? But last I checked, the Red Sox and the Yankees ended with the same outcome last year. Neither won the World Series. That's the main goal, ain't it? We ain't sit here talking about, we made it to the AL championship game.
Right, but the Yankees.
Oh wait, they lost in the second round.
The Yankees and the Red Sox were not the same last year. They really were not. One was somewhat relevant. The other one was not relevant at all. The Red Sox were terrible.
We were relevant.
We were not
in our hearts.
In our hearts, okay. With this soft BS. Give me a break. They can earn their way back into my household. If they were my son, I'd kick them out. And I'd be like, you know what, guys, earn your way back in.
That is terrible.
I renounce you. It's good. It's a good thing because you're giving them a kick in the butt.
At what age would you do that to your son?
Make it 16.
thought you were going to say something like 11. I was about to come to your house and beat you.
They gotta learn from. You gotta learn.
You got to learn from a young age, huh?
From a young age, build up that toughness. Be like, you gotta earn my love in my house.
Oh my God!
You hear that, son?
I could
Sweet
see you in about
home Alabama.
no. I could see you in about 20 years with a kid who's like 15, 16 years old. You having a complete beer belly watching the Red Sox game, falling asleep by the 7th inning, and then waking up just to yell at people.
So yell at my wife.
Yeah.
Like, hey, honey, you smell that? It's like, no, me neither. Start cooking.
No, we can't.
Just straight up be like,
we can't talk about that. We're gonna get canceled so fast. Okay, so
I'm
finally,
kidding. By the way, I'm kidding.
Yes.
I'm all for. I'm all for women being everywhere. I'm kidding. They're great people, and like I love equality. So we should be equal.
So finally, just to end off the episode real quick, Nick Markakis is gone. 15 Major League seasons with the Orioles and Braves. Finally decided to call it, saying my number one decision and my main focus on this is obviously my kids and my family. I've been fortunate enough to do this for a very long time, and not many people get to do what I've gone through. I'm thankful for every second and every minute. What do you remember about Nick Markakis?
Being an Oriole, basically.
Yeah. Just, I believe I got to see him in person once. It was spring training in 2008, 2007. It's like 07 or 06. Somewhere around that time. I was living in Florida. My dad took me to a spring training game between the Orioles and the Rays, I think. It seems like it. Or it was a regular season game at Tropicana. But I remembered how gross Tropicana is. So I think it was a spring training game. And I remember Nick Markakis had like this blast triple to right field. The only thing I will remember about Nick Markakis.
I remember back a couple of years ago, and this was, what was it? And this is just like, what's his name? He was up to bat. He just happened to be up to bat.
Mm-hmm.
And I was watching the game, and Jerry Remy and Don Orsillo had the game turned to the stands, to like these two young couples, and one of the boyfriends. This was around the time of, if you guys haven't seen, it was the boob grab, and they were like, all you could hear was, for 1 second, it was from Jerry Remy. He was like, whoops. And then it's just dead air for like a solid 30 seconds. But it wasn't completely dead air. All you could hear in the background, they were far away from their mics. You could just hear them dying laughing in the background. And they couldn't stay out of it. So they had to, after it was like the first pitch of the at bat. It was a strike. He goes, Don Orsillo finally comes off, and he's dying laughing. He goes, Nick Markakis, take strike one. And then they just stop for another like 20 seconds. And like, that's what I remember of Nick Markakis, kind of being on the side. He was just kind of there, sort of. He was one of those players who's like, he was a great Oriole. He was just kind of, he was part of that good Orioles core that they had during like the early to mid 2010s.
Mm-hmm.
And they were able to, I mean, with him, he was a solid player who was just kind of like there. I never saw him as like the best player on any Orioles team, but he was like, I could see him sort of like, say like a Jacoby Ellsbury to the team. Like he was there. He was like never like the center of attention, but he was always doing his part. He was batting .300. He was stealing bases. He was making plays, but he was never like this. He was kind of just, he was there.
Mm-hmm.
And
I mean,
respect
he had a good career. Finished up towards top in Rookie of the Year, 3 Gold Gloves, 1 Silver Slugger, and 1 All-Star game. Like, not a crazy career, but still a very, very solid career, averaging a 288 batting average with a 423 slugging and a 357 on-base percentage.
Yeah, so he was basically just there.
It's nothing crazy, but it's
Good
not
player.
bad.
Good player. I like him.
All right. With that being said, somehow we managed to stretch this episode out to an hour. I don't know how we did that. But you got anything else to say to the people before we sign off?
You mentioned something about how I always self-promote my podcast, so I'm just going to say I love football. I love football, and I love talking about it. So just you make your own decision with that. And I'm good at talking about it, by the way.
Of course you are. Bro, I'm hungry. I need to go get some food. All right, give me I almost forgot. Give me one good thing that happened this week for you.
One good thing that happened this week. I think it's pretty funny that in the same stretch of time, in a matter of hours, I believe it was Friday. It was yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
The same stretch. There's a 3-hour span. The Patriots bring back Cam Newton. Brady restructures his contract to be more team friendly. One side's getting better. The other side continues to get worse and accept mediocrity.
All right, so I just got to say this now. JD, if you're here watching the premiere, first of all, you know I appreciate you. Second off, give me that Patriots comment right now. What are we thinking about Cam Newton? I hate it. That just says we're comfortable with 8-8. That's what that says to me. That says we're comfortable with 8-8 for this year and possibly beyond. Waste the primes of Stephon Gilmore, the McCourtys who aren't getting younger, down to Hightower who's probably coming back. We're just wasting primes right now.
Yesterday was just a testament to how in a nutshell, to how the Brady Belichick divorce has really gone. It's like Belichick hasn't tried and he's just expected to turn water into wine, while Brady's actually making an effort and trying to make things happen, and it's actually working. He won a Super Bowl in his first year. He's going for number 2, and like I've said, I'm sure if you've watched my podcast, go follow Fumble Rooski podcast. Check it out. If you check that out.
You so hard right now.
What's that?
I'm judging you so hard right now.
Go ahead and judge me. Year 2 is always the best year for the quarterback. Okay, so the fact that
Sam Darnold had entered the chat.
Shut up.
I've seen ghosts.
He threw for year 2 in a new system for quarterbacks. Say like veteran quarterbacks, and Aaron Rodgers, a Peyton Manning, they do better in the second year. Brady threw 40 touchdown passes in his first year, and they won a Super Bowl. He won Super Bowl MVP. As long as he doesn't age and he doesn't fall off Max Kellerman's cliff.
Which Max Kellerman has been saying for the past 6 years now.
He's been saying it for 6 years, and he's had a Hall of Fame career since he's said that.
If you took those 6 years since like age 37 to 43.
Right, yeah.
Just those 6 years, that's a Calvin Johnson-esque Hall of Fame career.
Basically. I think, and I hate to say it because I hate Nick Wright, but he made a great take about a month ago. He said Tom Brady's had 3 Hall of Fame careers. His first stretch was his Troy Aikman phase from 2000 to 2000 and was it 2005?
2005, 2006.
2007 to 2013 was his Joe Montana phase. 2014 to present is Dan Marino phase. 2014 to present was his Joe Montana phase. In fact, it's not just Joe Montana at this point. It's like a mix of Joe Montana and Peyton Manning. He's putting up he's winning Super Bowls like Joe Montana, and he's putting up Peyton Manning like stats. He's the Frankenstein of take every elite quarterback to have ever lived, who doesn't take away the athleticism, and he's
zero athleticism anywhere here down.
Yeah.
He juked out Brian Urlacher once.
Urlacher, that one time. That's what Patriots fans use to say he's athletic.
Yes.
That one time, like 14 years ago, he juked out Brian Urlacher. But what I'm trying to – he's had an elite career, and he's winning this divorce. As long as he doesn't fall off the cliff, he's going to have a better year, and they might
100%.
end up winning the Super Bowl.
Yes.
You know, teams are getting worse around him. The only team I see getting rivaling him in his conference is the Packers, and they're getting worse. And then in the other conference, the
Chiefs just released 3 of their linemen.
They lost half of their offensive line. They're going to be without 60% of their offensive line. Even if they replace a couple of those players, which one of them probably won't be the left tackle, because the left tackle is one of the hardest positions to replace in the NFL. And that happens to be the most important position. All right? So everybody's getting weaker. The Buccaneers just seem to be getting better. And if Tom Brady still hasn't fallen off the cliff, they're going to win another Super Bowl.
100%. I can see it because they brought back everyone besides probably Shaquille Barrett what's his name?
They'll probably get back Shaquille Barrett.
Yeah,
they have a good chance at it
because you and I were talking when they got when they franchise tagged Godwin. I'm like, they needed to do that for White. If they lose White,
no, not White,
Levante David. I'm sorry. Why did I think Devin White? Oh, Levante David. They need to bring back David, but then they end up bringing back Undiel. I'm like, well, ignore everything I just said.
See, for me, with that team, they had a big 3 of free agents, basically. They had Chris Godwin, Shaquille Barrett, Levante David. They
brought back 2 already.
They needed 2 of the 3 to stay at Super Bowl contention. And one of them who was required had to be Chris Godwin. They franchise tagged Chris Godwin. He was the first domino to fall.
Mm-hmm.
Then at that point, they needed at least one of the two linemen to come back. They got Levante David, the better one, who I actually didn't expect. I expected Shaquille Barrett. I expected them to just let Levante walk and get paid. Mm-hmm. He took less.
Yeah.
So now, if they get Shaq Barrett, they're fine. But they're already fine now. They're in Super Bowl contention now, no matter what happens this offseason.
100%. Yeah. All right. With that being said, we are running a little long. To the fans, thank you guys so much, as every week, for listening to these episodes, especially if you're at the YouTube premiere with me on Sunday, the Lord's Day. That being said, once again, huge thank you for listening to episode 61. I'm still amazed we've made it this far. Roll that outro music. God bless you guys. We'll see you guys next time.
I've been thinking, lately it's just me against the world. Round and round I'm caught up in this swirl, trying to dig and trying to burrow. Pressure turned the stone into a pearl. Lessons that I learned weren't always thorough, sugar-coated like a churl. Now I'm really out here on my own. Now my homies acting like I owe 'em, done extending out my arm. Made a lot of money from my poems. Been around and now they say I'm on. I can finally say I'm up now. I'm up now. 20,000 on a bus down. A bus down. I'm on my way. I'm going up now. Up now. And I ain't never gonna touch down. mind's on, I can't turn it off. Late nights and I'm turning up. Hate life, then I learn to love. Down and out, now I'm way above. I always knew I had it, now I'm living out my dreams. Treat that money like an addict, it's a habit, I'm a fiend. Feeling that rush, rocket ready to launch. Hands up, ready and gone, been waiting too long. Trust on plenty, that's wrong. Old me's dead and that's gone, thank God I'm headstrong. I don't wanna wake up in a doubt that I show 'em everything I'm about. I ain't never going out, I ain't never getting for no clout. Now I'm sitting pretty on the cloud.
Say I'm up now, I'm up now. 20,000 on a bus down, a bus down. I'm on my way up, going up now, and I ain't never gonna touch down, touch down.